Hello and welcome to the Four Steps Coffee Talk. The purpose of this call is to talk about how to practice the four steps, which is a technique that comes from the diamond cutter system, a technique that you can use to get whatever you would like. And today, my guest is Jeann from Singapore. Hello, Jeann.
Hi.
I first met Jeann, I first saw Jeann when I was in Vienna in a training from Diamond Cutter Institute on how to get rid of bad habits. And I remember Jeann because she was on the stage, she was teaching some life tools, and I remember clearly that she was saying how she has gotten rid of emotional bad habits. Yes, so emotional things that are negative emotions that we cling to usually because we are used to it through meditation. So she has done this through meditation, and I thought that is super, super interesting. Afterwards, when I went to the Sedona College of International Management, I realized that Jeann was there as a professor in training, which means train of trainers. And I was really, really happy to see how advanced she was in the training academy that is teaching people how to talk and how to teach this diamond cutter system. So for me, it's a very special video because I admire a lot Jeann, and I'm gonna ask Jeann a lot of difficult questions, let's say, to share with us how she has implemented the diamond cutter system in her life in a practical way to get what she wants. And the bigger purpose of this series of coffee talks is to get inspired by the success stories that are around us. And I want to help making these stories popular around the world. And in this way, maybe more and more people will try the four steps for themselves, and they will see how it works, because we say that this system is always working. So, but you need first to try it, and you will see for yourself if it's always working or not. So this is my very short introduction. I'm gonna get into the depths of the discussion with Jeann. So first of all, Jeann, can you please tell us how did you get in contact first with the diamond cutter system and how it has changed your life overall?
I always share my stories, and people don't believe me, because when I first got to know the diamond cutter system, it was because about I think 2015 I had a ex-business partner and a friend still who migrated to Australia. And then from Australia, she texted me. She said that, there's this seminar that you need to go to. I've already bought tickets, so just go, okay? And I'm not the kind of person who enjoys going to seminars. So at that point in time, but I'm like, okay, since you bought the tickets, fine, I'll go. And I went with 5 other people, one of whom is my brother. And we went that day, and this is funny to say, but I'm actually a really critical person, and a very skeptical one as well. And I come from a stage management background, so I turn up at this auditorium that's a little bit old, right? And what do? I start to criticize in my mind. Okay, so I step in and I become an inspector of sorts. I'm like, this place is old, the lightings are not good, the seats are like old. And the whole time it was like that until the talk started. And I was like, it still went on, by the way. I was like, this guy turns up on stage, and guess what? He's the CEO and founder of Diamond Cutter Institute. But I'm like, this is an old man. What is he doing on stage? And I was like, what is this old guy going to tell me? Is he going to tell me anything new? I've studied so much. I've studied philosophy, a bit of psychology, because I'm from a theater background. So, we study a lot of this like philosophy and psychology stuff and performance studies, right? So he started talking and I wasn't really into it, if you know what I mean. I wasn't there because I wanted to be there, but because I was told to be there. So I went there with this really skeptical and judgmental frame of mind. And the first half ended and I was like, what's this about? And it was the same level that Anna, you saw me at, about
Really?
getting rid of bad habits. And because he was talking about gadgets and how we have this thing with gadgets that we feel that we need to have them all the time. It's a kind of a bad habit, right? That we want to have it. Then that was the point when my business partners, they were like, I have no clue what this guy is talking about. I'm gonna leave. Are you gonna join me? So that at that point in time, that intermission right there, I had a choice. Do I stay or do I go? So for some reason, something inside me said, I think he hasn't gotten to the main idea yet. Why don't you just give him a break, hear him out, don't judge him. Let's just check it out, okay? It's another half an hour, it's fine. So I decided to stay. My brother stayed with me, and the second half started. And guess what? He started talking about a pen story. So that hooked me. I mean, like it hooked me like crazy, because I started I look over at my brother and like, what is he talking about? It's like perspectives, what is it? And I started to reference all these psychologists that I know and all the philosophers that I know. I wanted to make sense of what he was talking about. So immediately after, right, even before the talk ended, I went online and I bought his books. So I ordered the Diamond Cutter, I ordered Calming Management and Karma of Love, and yeah. So it started from there. I was like hooked with this pen.
So the pen hooked you.
Yes.
Okay. So I have a challenge for you. Let's hook other people. Can you share with us the super short version of the pen? Yes, super short version for the people who don't know what we are talking about, to get a glimpse of it and to be hooked. What do you say about this?
The super short version, right? Okay, I'm trying to condense it because of time.
Not short, but quick. This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to get to the main idea right here. Okay, so obviously, if you're watching this, right, what I have in my hand is a pen, right?
A pen, yeah.
A pen, okay. So I see this as a pen, and obviously, if something else, maybe like my cat or a dog. Okay, let's say a dog comes in. Obviously, this dog is not going to see a pen, and maybe the dog will see it as something to chew on, right? A chew stick or chew toy. So I just want to get to the key idea because I'm really, really so cute.
This is my dog for this demonstration.
That's so cute. So maybe I'll go straight to what really hooked me, okay? It's the idea that, I see a pen, a dog sees a chew toy. I get that. That's logical. That makes sense, okay? Because obviously if the dog sees a pen, the dog will be using it as a pen, okay? But the exciting thing is that when we leave this thing on the table, okay, and everybody leaves the room, the question is, at that point in time, with no human beings in the room, with no dogs in the room, what is it? And that was the part that hooked me, because the answer was totally what I wasn't expecting. Because to me, the answer will still be the same, right? Obviously, it's a pen to me, okay, and it will still be a chew toy to the dog. But he actually says that it's nothing. And I was like, how can it be nothing when it's obviously something, right? But then that's when he says that it has the hidden potential waiting to become something, depending on who comes into the room next. Because when that person comes into the room, and a person like me, for example, looks at that thing becomes a pen. And that was what really, really got me. And then he talks about how did it become a pen? It's that at the moment when I'm looking at it, there's a mental seed in my mind that cracks open, and a luminous image comes out, and it covers that thing, and it becomes a pen. So the seed thing totally got me, because I was like, what seed are we talking about? A physical seed? What seed? What is it again? And then he talks about the mental imprints, the whole idea of like how seeing it, capture. So yeah. So that really got me crazy, because with that hidden potential, and that means that I can put whatever seeds I want into my mind to see what I want to see in my life.
Yeah.
And I can put in like financial freedom seeds, for example, to help people become financially free. And when that seed ripens and opens, then I will see financial freedom. And then he will do what we call the $100 demonstration, right? But the whole idea is, how did that seed get in my mind? I think this whole coffee talk that we have right here is going to talk about this 4 steps. So how fast and how strong you want the seeds to ripen in your mind depends on how well you plant it using this technique called the 4 steps, and how well you take care of the seeds after you plant it. So I think the whole idea of 4 steps is to teach us how we're going to do that in our life, to create everything that we want to see in our life because of this hidden potential. So to me, this whole thing is, I'm still excited about it,
So
even
yeah,
after so many
so
years.
the pen story, like as we call us, it's the, let's say, theory and the logical demonstration that the things around us are coming from ourselves. So we get 100% responsibility of whatever is going on in our lives. So, and the way that we are creating the reality around us is by planting these small seeds, these mental seeds. And the cool thing is that you can plant, if you know what you want, yeah, you can plant that small seed intentionally. So not randomly like we are doing when we don't know about the hidden potential and we do not know about the 4 steps technique. So can you tell us, Jeann, about your biggest objective that you have achieved with using the 4 steps?
This biggest one, let's see. I can't really pinpoint to biggest, but I would say, let's say I planted a career that I never knew I would have.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
okay, interesting.
being
And how
able
did
to
you
go.
do?
Yeah, I mean, like maybe I would like feel it in a bit. Is that I get to go to many cities and countries around the world to share the diamond cutter system, right? So how I did that, I mean, to be very honest, this is unbelievable, but I never thought that one day I would become a trainer in the diamond cutter system, at least. But I believe what I did for about 2 years, I was actually planting seeds to share this system in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So I would help out with marketing, actually. So I help with marketing the events in Singapore, and that was really just what I wanted to do. I felt that, if I have to do something with my life, right, I want to share something that works because it worked for me. So I did that, and I basically, I didn't tell this to anybody before, but maybe I'll share this. I started a kind of like a book club that does the book called Comic Management. So I help a group of people to achieve their goals using the 4 steps. So for a few months, I guess, like 3 months at least, every time we meet up, I make them like go through their 4 steps, like what's their goal, I pair them up in a group, and then they help each other on the spot, right? And their group's focus for the goals is career, business. So they were either focused on trying to grow their business, or they want to accomplish something in their life with their work that they do. So I feel that this was my big 4 steps. I wouldn't say it was a one-to-one 4 steps, but it was actually a group setting 4 steps that accumulated the seeds, I would say.
One
Yes.
too many.
So yeah, that was it actually.
Okay, so you have planted a career that you didn't even imagine existed for you by helping other people to have their perfect careers through planting with the 4 steps. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us about a major challenge that you have overcome with the 4 steps?
Oh, let's see how to do this. Well, I actually had a really major like a financial challenge, and it was really difficult for a long time, and I I had no other way to deal with it except to use the 4 steps. It was really my last straw really. So I really just like I found somebody, actually 2 of them, who had similar financial challenge as I did, because I just wanted to overcome this financial challenge. So I found like these 2 people who also want to do it, and then I really spend the time, to help them with it. I actually like kind of like coach them, because they also learn seeds. So I actually coach them on what seeds that we need to plant together, and what we should be doing. And every day I would be texting them to get them to do their homework. Basically, it's like, you guys, have you done this? Okay, let's do it happily, guys. Are you doing your coffee meditation? Good, let's coffee meditate together. So this major financial challenge that I have, I have resolved it. It took a year. I have to say, it was a long drawn process, but whoa, when I solved this problem, I never knew that I could do that. It's unbelievable that I turned basically like a financial crunch into financial freedom. I can only say that.
That's beautiful, especially taking into account the situation that is going to come on us in the next years, probably. Yeah. So can you summarize a little bit the 4 steps for transforming a financial crunch into financial independence, because a lot of people are going to need these 4 steps to know what it is about. Yeah. So can you guide us a little bit through it?
Sure, I'll share with you some tips that I did. Okay, I did basically a very interesting way of planting seeds, I guess. Like, one is your regular 4 steps. Okay, so your regular 4 steps is you need to decide your goal, right? Step 1. So for me, my goal was to get rid of the financial crunch, and then go from the red to the black, basically. Okay, and then my step 2, find somebody similar who has the same problem. Okay, similar problem doesn't need to be exactly the same. Step 3, okay, say you guys, if let's say you're feeling the crunch, that means you haven't been generous enough, okay, because you held your resources back. So this is the time for you to give. So in a sense, your giving, okay, number 1 in the regular 4 steps is for you to help this other person to actually also get out of this financial crunch. So you can, for instance, listen to what's their problem is. What exactly is their financial crunch? Are they like, I don't know, losing money? Are they like in debt, for example? Or for example, are they like, they are spending more money than they are making the money? Like, some people have no problems like making money, like for example for me, right? But the problem is keeping the money. Like, you tend to have this issue of losing the money somehow. So then that's when you realize that, oh my God, I haven't been, in a way, dealing with my finances well. So help that person. Listen more than you talk. Because when you listen, you actually get to know their problems better. And when you listen to their problem, then you can give the advice that they need. If you tend to overpower them and talk more, you aren't actually really giving them advice that they might need. So I would suggest in step 3, listen to them, okay? Find out their problems and then give the advice that they need. And the key is maybe spend like 1 hour a week. Don't go crazy with it, okay? So the rest of the week, you can spend time as and when thinking about how to help them. That's fine. Then the 4th step, do your coffee meditation, which is every single day, okay? And if you are in a financial crunch, don't do your coffee meditation only every night. Do your coffee meditation whenever. okay, because you
Every
desperately
morning
need to
and
get
every
out.
night.
Yeah, morning, night, lunchtime, dinner. You get the idea, okay? And I was crazy to the point that I set alarms on my phone to remind me to coffee meditate. And I actually put exciting music. When the alarm rings, it's like Justin Timberlake's, I suddenly forgot that music, right? Can stop this feeling, okay? So
Oh, look at this.
I put that on. Then what I do, one more thing, that if you're in a financial crunch, every day, this is a coin box with money in there. I stick my goal here, okay? And every day, diligently, I put the money into this coin bank, and I know who I'm giving the money to. So
Mm-hmm.
for instance, somebody who is in debt, I might give that, I might do that. I will give somebody who needs money, or, a charity organization that probably needs help now. Especially in this time, a lot of charity organizations are facing problems with getting funding. So give how much you can. And the key is, most people think they have to give a lot of money, but no. In the seed system, it's about your motivation. Give as much as you're comfortable with and within your limits. So even if you put in 10 cents a day, it's fine, because 10 cents to you might be little, right? But to somebody else, when you accumulate it over time, it adds up. Plus, there's this thing called currency difference, okay? So if you think about it, small ways you can plant seeds to get out of financial crunch. Be more generous. If you feel the pinch, that's your past bad seeds ripening. That's reminding you, if you feel this way, it's because you have been this way in the past. So fight that feeling, okay, and give heavily.
I would like to add something to your explanation regarding that a lot of people think that we need to give a lot of money when we are being generous. Uh, it's not about the amount, it's about the habit. So if you put 1 cent in your box, yeah, every day, and you think that I am doing this for the financial abundance of the people who are poor,
Yes.
it's again the motivation that is an internal thing, it's in our head, yeah, but it's about the habit of doing this every single day, because we are creatures of habits. Whatever that we are doing, yeah, we have done in the past, and every time that you are doing something, you are planting the seeds to do it again. This is how bad habits work. Yeah.
And it's totally true. I mean, to add on to what Anna said, I think it's really cool that we start to think generosity as a state of mind and the state of your heart, more
Yeah.
than just the amount. The amount is just surface, okay? Some people can give $100, but they still feel stingy about it, if you get what I mean. And
Mhm.
money is also empty. It also has hidden potential. Who's to decide whether it's too much or too little? Who's putting the label on it again? So,
Can
yeah.
you explain to us, because this is very interesting? What do you mean when you say that money is empty? Very interesting, very interesting. And people should understand this because it's crucial about money. It's absolutely crucial. And before you explain to us, I would like to share very, very shortly. When I was planting my financial abundance, first, I didn't get the actual money in my bank account, but I had 2 free holidays in Switzerland, the most expensive country in the world. I didn't pay for the flight, I didn't pay for the food, and one dinner was about 150 euro. Yeah, so and I didn't even know how much it cost, because I have a very good friend who wanted me, it was her gift for me on my birthday, and she said, "You are coming to Switzerland? You don't need to worry about anything. 1 week, it's on me. This is my present for your birthday." And I was like, yay! Yeah, so I didn't see that money in my bank account, but I fully enjoyed the financial abundance of living in the most expensive country in the world. Yeah, so tell us, what's with this money is empty? What do you mean, Jeann?
Actually, it was really cool because, like, you know, uh, Kelly, okay, another DCI trainer, right? and DiamondX speaker as well, was the one who educated me on emptiness of money. It was really cool because she said, like, you know, for example, right, I'm just going to pull out some cash. So this is $50 Singapore dollars, okay? It's about maybe like 40 USD, okay? So the money is like the pen. So let's connect this first, okay? The money is like a pen, right? So let's say I leave the money on the table, okay? And you can't see it because, okay, I'll just hold it. Like, money's on the table. And the same thing, everybody leaves the room. Okay, guys, everyone leaves the room. What is it at the moment? Nothing. Guess what? Why? Because it's basically a hidden potential. It has a hidden potential to become anything, right? If some people even say money is just a piece of paper. If you think about it, that kind of makes sense, right? Because that is the emptiness of money. Why say a piece of paper? Because let's say my niece comes into the room. She will look at this thing here and decides that this is her art and craft paper. She's going to take a marker and she's going to draw on it. Okay, and I'm going to go crazy, right? So you get the idea. She doesn't see a $50 here. She doesn't see $50 bill. She doesn't see this as something of value that you can use to buy something. She just sees it as a piece of paper that she can do whatever she wants with it, okay? And obviously a dog comes in, right? Maybe the dog decides that this is a tasty snack that tastes like potato chips. And the dog is gonna chew on it and swallow it. And then I come into the room, I see a $50 bill that my dog is chewing, and I'll go crazy. So at the same time, okay, we both, the dog, my niece, me, we are in a room. All three are seeing different stuff. So guess what? Where's that coming from? Each our seats. Then it goes back to the emptiness of money, right? Now we get the idea that money is empty, right? This dollar bill is empty. Even the value of money is empty. A billionaire, let's say, okay, like Donald Trump, for example, sees a $50 Singapore dollar, right? He thinks this is trash. Maybe. He will think that this is not a lot of money, right? This is nothing compared to his jet that he bought for, like, I God knows how much, millions of dollars, right? And that maybe the jet to him is like $1 million, yeah, that's really cheap, right? But to me, $50 can buy me a really good meal. So the value of money is also coming from my seeds. Somebody in India who's really, really poor sees this $50. It's going to feed his family for the entire month. He will worship this piece of paper. If you think about it, even the value of money is also coming from seeds. And we decide the seeds of value we plant in our minds. So in other words, 10 cents, right, for me, might be of really low value. And not to say to a millionaire, right? They're like, why are you giving me 10 cents? And then you give 10 cents to somebody living in the Philippines who only needs like $1 US to survive every day. That's 1/10 of their income. And to them, that's very valuable. So that's the value of money. So then when you give that 10 cents every day, think about these people who will benefit from this value. Don't get fixated on what you have been stuck with, thinking that this 10 cents doesn't mean a thing, right? This is like 10 cents. But if you think about the emptiness of the hidden potential of that money, that is why you can plant seeds to see it come back in many other ways than just money in your bank, because it's the value.
Yes, it's not about the piece of paper, it's about what it gets you, and you need to see what it gets you. Yeah,
exactly.
Really, really interesting. Okay, so at the end of this coffee talk, I would like to ask you to share with us your life vision and how the 4 steps and the diamond cutter system is fitting into that life vision. This is inspiring, the really inspiring moment.
Could you educate me a little bit about life vision first, maybe?
Yes, I can. So it's not more than these 2 words. Yeah. So how do you envision your life at the end? yeah, after I don't know how many tens of years, yeah, in the future. So if
Okay,
what's
I got
your
it.
biggest vision for your life? What do you want from your life? Your biggest goal, or how would you like this world to be? So it's an enough general question to talk about exactly your vision for your life. Yeah.
To me, okay, if you exclude my goal, okay, in the sense that I have this really, it sounds crazy to many people, but I can't help but to say after learning the diamond cutter system, how the world works, hidden potential, is to see people in the world using it. Like you said, the word abundance, it sticks with me. That I want to see a world where the norm is where people give to receive. I want to see a world where people use the 4 steps like they breathe. It sounds crazy, but our normal or like our default mode of living our lives should be giving. And I want to see that world that way. And that's what I have in mind for my life. Like when it comes to the end, right? Like it doesn't matter what I do. Like what I do is just the vehicle of making this vision happen, right? Like for example, I want to be an author, right? Even right, the idea of being an author, the content that I want to share is to get people to do this, to get people to give, to get people to achieve their goals through giving. And I want to see a world where everyone can achieve their goals without competition, without the expense of somebody else's failure. That it is possible to see a world where everyone is successful. And that is really what you call it a crazy dream, okay? But everything that I do, it's towards that. I want to see a world where people use the 4 steps like it's their way of life.
That's really beautiful, and it's an extremely high goal because me, for example, personally, I cannot even imagine how the world would look like where everybody would give first what they want from themselves. I cannot, I don't have the capacity in this second to understand how that society would function. It's so different from our culture and what our education and what we see in the media and everything that, yeah, it would be beautiful, but what does that beautiful mean? Yeah. So I cannot, it's a beautiful imagination exercise and challenging imagination exercise.
But maybe I'll just pull it down to the ground then, is to see, can you imagine that our education systems around the world teaches children this?
Yeah.
Then the change starts from there. Like let's start with educating our kids. Giving is the way to living. Then that's when kindness will permeate the world. So if you can't imagine a world where everyone, lives through giving, imagine a world where everyone becomes kind. It sounds idealistic, but I believe that it's possible. That even if they can't live their lives 100%, right, using the 4 steps, but people become more kind, people become more compassionate, people become more generous, at least a little bit more. And imagine that change that we will see. A cleaner environment, maybe because climate change, because of the pollution that's going on, things might change. You never know. And the world, and this dream that I have is also like a pen. So I can create it if I want it.
Thank you so much, Jeann, for everything that you have told us today. So you have taught us a lot. You taught us the pen demonstration, and also you taught us about the 4 steps. And we kind of discussed a lot of philosophy today, but also you have shared with us how to plant 2 very important things for the majority of people: how to have the best career that you cannot even imagine. Yeah, you don't know that it exists for you, but if you plant it, you will see it. Yeah, because career is coming also from us, it's coming from seeds, it's not coming from itself. Yeah, of course. And secondly, extremely important, how to transform money, a financial crunch, into financial independence.
Yes.
It took you 12 months. You worked hard on it, because to do coffee meditation in the morning, in the evening, and between lunch and dinner, yeah, it's a big effort. But great things are happening if you put effort into them. They will not fall from the sky. Okay, there are big things come from seeds that are in our mind, so you need to plant those seeds in your mind in order for them to create the reality that you want. Okay, so thank you very much, Jeann. Can't wait to see you again in the Sedona College of International Management or in the DCI events when they will resume after all this craziness that is happening in the world. And let's keep planting with 4 steps. That's the only thing that I can say at the end. And it's meaningful for everybody. Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.